Okay, so I'm back. I'm just gonna do it this way. Oh, my hair. Something. Let's get something going. Okay, so I'm back. I'm gonna do it this way, and I'm not gonna invite. You've already been invited. You'll just see this video. So back to what I was saying in the title. I asked the question: What does What do the words husband and wife really mean? What do those words really mean? And I'm thinking about this and I'm talking about this because last night, the situation with Offset the marriage of Offset and Cardi B that was recently uncovered was on my mind. And it really made me think about what people in this day and age think about the words husband and wife, and do they really carry any weight? Years ago, when you said you were married, it carried so much weight. Does it even carry any weight anymore? And the reason why I'm asking that is because Offset has called Cardi B his wife before. Cardi B has mentioned on tour in reference to Offset and him cheating that you're about to lose your wife. And no one ever stopped to even think, well, why is she calling him, why is she saying you're about to lose your wife? And then why is he calling her his wife? Why? Well, because we use the word wifey and husband so willy-nilly now. Hello, Tony. Thank you for joining. We use those words so willy-nilly now that it doesn't even matter. Like, going through the process of becoming a wife or going through the process of becoming a husband and having that piece of paper that says that you are this and having that last name that says that you are this, it's not even happening anymore. So I can be your wifey, not really your wife. I can be your wifey and you can be my husband and not really be your husband. Or how about, and I hate this, and I have someone at work that does this. How about you've been in a relationship with someone for 5, 7, 10, 15, 20 years, and you are steady calling this person your fiance, knowing that you guys are never going to get married. I had someone introduce their spouse to me as their fiance, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's great. You're engaged. Number one, she doesn't wear a ring at all. I'm like, oh my God, wow, you guys are engaged. She doesn't speak about this man. He is not involved with anything that she does. And so it started getting really weird to me. And we worked together. So after a while, I'm like, okay, is this her fiance or is this she just introduced? Women will introduce men that they've been in a relationship with for a very long time as their fiance. Men do it too. And then you wonder why, when shit starts falling apart, you're like, why they're so pissed. Because you're out here giving them false hope. If you're calling me your fiance, that means we're going to go to the next level, which is marriage. If you're calling me your wifey, that means I am now staking my stick in your ground because you've called me your wifey, which is giving me certain privileges. So then when the privilege no longer is comfortable for you, then it's a problem in the relationship. And it's, oh, you're doing all of this, you're doing all of that, you're not my wife. Blah, blah, blah. Wait, you called me wifey, right? You called me wifey. You called me your husband. But what happened to all of the benefits? So it's just crazy to me that no one even knew for sure that they were married until she actually came out and just recently confirmed it. Because they had been calling each other husband and wife. And as a married woman, it makes me feel some type of way like, well, shit. If I could have just been with you and not got married to you and called you my husband and you called me your wife and we shared all of these privileges and we just lived together and had these kids and raised these kids, we could have went on ahead and did that. And I've told this story before. I used to have a neighbor and she was like my mother's age. So she wasn't my peer. Her kids were my peers. Her and her husband, which is how they were introduced to me, lived in the house 2 doors away from us. They had kids. They had been living there forever. They were together for 30 years. The man died. Come to find out, she was not his wife. He still had a wife living in New York. And when that man died, his wife, on paper, came and took everything. Got the house, got his pension, got everything, sold the house, and his girlfriend of wifey of 30 years had to move out of a house where she had raised all of her children. And she couldn't fight it at all. Because at the end of the day, they had no ties to each other. They had no bond to each other. They had no paper. So when I say that, you're out here calling people your wifey and your husband and stuff like that, I mean, if you want to have a wife and a husband, just make the shit official. If you really feel that way about that person, you know what? Let's take it to the next level. Let's go ahead and get married and make it official. As opposed to just, having these names because people like to have titles. And that's the problem. Everyone wants a title because a title entitles you to do certain things and to be a certain way. But if you want to have that title, go ahead and do the steps that you need to have that title, which is what Offset and what Cardi B did, right? I also think that according to her story, according to what she said of how they got married, they just woke up one day and said, let's just go ahead and do this. We both love each other. Let's just go ahead and do this. Let's just get married. They got married in their bedroom or something. I'm paraphrasing what she said. They got married in their bedroom or something. I'm like, okay, that's cute. How long were y'all together before they got married? And then it also made me think, it's probably why when all of these cheating allegations came out about him, she was so gung-ho to kind of back him up. It was already her husband. They had already been married for months. So now you marry someone that you know ain't shit. Now, I'm not saying people don't change, but you knew at the point that you married him that he wasn't shit. So you married someone, he embarrassed the shit out of you, because he knew that you were his wife, and he still went and did what he did, and you decided to stay. I'm telling you, I don't know what is going to happen with the next generation. I have 2 kids, so they're in that generation, and I'm seeing them kind of come up. But I kid you not, I don't think marriage is going to be a thing. I just really don't. I don't think it's going to be a thing because I think so many people, these young people, are being raised to be open, be free, be with who you want to be with multiple people, be with tropical people. I just made that word up. Like, you don't have to be with just this one person. And in my household, we advocate marriage. Were we always married? Hell no. Did we do things before we got married? Hell yes. Do we tell our kids that? Hell yes. Because the transparency and the honesty is what it is what they need. But I just don't think that it's going to be this, marriage is going to be this thing. It's just going to be people living together all willy-nilly, and then when shit hit the fan, it's going to be like, oh my God, well, how come I didn't get this? And how come I didn't get that? And what happened? One thing I will say, I mean, they got married, and so now she ain't having a baby out of wedlock, which is what everybody was talking about, right? So all the people who was talking about how she was having a baby out of wedlock, you can leave that alone because they're married. So we know she ain't having a baby out of wedlock. But damn, I ain't gonna marry somebody that I know for like 6 months or a year. I'm just not. Why? Because the crazy shows up later. And you know what? This ties me into my episode of Love Her. That's exactly what I'm talking about this week. Great segue. Exactly what I'm talking about this week. When you with someone and you fell in love and then the crazy showed up. And it's too late. And the only way for the crazy to show up is if you've moved like this. If you moved like this in lightning speed and you're deep into a relationship and y'all living together and y'all planning your future, and then you find out they're crazy, your ass done moved too fast. So that's all I wanted to come on and say. Check out that episode, though. It's a good episode. It's on SoundCloud. It's called Love Her, Lubher. And yes, don't move so fast. Life's not going anywhere. And if you want to call somebody your wife, wife her. If you want to call somebody your husband, make him your husband. This is Ereena George. I'm out. Peace.